Okay, let's turn to a third theme here, and let's turn to trends in innovation. So we'll talk a little bit on the sort of technology innovation side, but also R&D investment, and this issue of what particularly the larger companies are doing to invest in research and development. So the major orthopedic companies are very large and mature, or at least maturing businesses. That stage of a company's life cycle tends not to be a hotbed for R&D investment in innovation, especially in what everyone would agree are very tight economic times that we have right now. Some have argued that for hip and knee replacement in particular, that we have a standard of care that is so good that no further innovation is needed. They're great. Outcomes are excellent. We don't need to spend money. It just drives up cost. And quite frankly, some things that have been called innovation may in fact be harmful. So those are some of the things that are being said in the public arena about innovation and R&D investment. So let me start, Bill Plovanic, with you. What are the trends that you have seen in R&D investment with the orthopedic companies? Are they investing less? Are they investing more? Is it staying the same? And do you see a difference between R&D investment levels between larger companies and medium to small size companies?
Well, the last 5 years have been very interesting. If you look back, the larger companies, 5-6 years ago had probably 6-7% R&D budgets. As the financial crisis hit, that was pared back to probably, most of them drop a couple of points, let's call it 5% range. And then in the last couple of years, we've been moving back up to 6-7%. Now the question is, has the move up in the past couple of years, is that more spending on R&D, or is that more spending on the regulatory process? Because it's been much more challenging with the FDA. So, and I think from an outcome standpoint, I think the number of approvals on either 510Ks or PMAs have been much less over the past couple of years. So how the spending is going, it went down and up, but the output is probably overall lower, and the question is whether we're just paying the government more money or paying more to get those products so they're ready to be submitted.
So it's hard to know exactly what's going on just simply by looking at that R&D investment line, because so many things go in there.
Right. Remember, my life is just looking through the glass window and trying to see what people are eating inside the restaurant.
Are today's hip and knee replacements good enough? And should companies really just focus on efficiency and lower cost and quit trying to innovate?
Well, I think you have to not segregate cost effectiveness and innovation. I think they're complementary concepts. Mm-hmm. Cost effectiveness can come as a result of innovation. Let me answer your first question. Hip and knee products that are out there that have long track records have proven to be very successful, and they continue to treat patients very effectively. That said, if you take a look over the past 10 years, what we've seen is a growing proportion of patients who are under the age of 65. So what you have occurring, or what had occurred, is a shift from predominantly older patients to a much higher proportion of younger, active patients with higher expectations that are going to require durability in their implant for a longer period of time. Concurrently with that, you've seen a reduction in the revision burden in the United States. Now, these two concepts are really not compatible unless you have improved durability to go along with the higher demand. Mm-hmm. So I believe that over the last 10 years, we've actually seen that devices have actually potentially improved in durability. And certainly everyone in our industry is working very hard to do that. If you look at how that's occurred, it's happened one increment at a time, right? So you make small improvements continually. You look back after 10 years and wow, look how far we've gone. But it occurs in small incremental steps, and that needs to continue, even with the effective track record of hip and knee replacements because of changing patient expectations, activity, and demand. Innovation can also occur, as I indicated before, in the white space, pre-end stage, where you have osteoarthritic patients who may not yet be ready for a hip and knee. So tremendous potential for innovation there. And then when you take a look at some of the dynamics with respect to the economics of delivery and policy changes, you're going to see our customers more concerned about value, reducing readmissions and complications. And efficiency in the operating room. And those are all areas where I believe innovation can and must play a very important part.
Yeah, it seems to me that the bar for durability in joint replacement implants keeps getting raised. When I started in this business, 10-year durability for hip prosthesis was really pretty good because the vast majority of patients were going to outlive that. They weren't going to live 10 more years because of the age at which they were getting operating on. And as implants have gotten better and patients have gotten younger and younger, I think the point you're making is the demands on those implants are going up, and so we need to keep making them better and better and last longer and longer. If I have to have a knee replacement at my age, even 30 years, quite frankly, isn't good enough for me. I want something that's going to last longer than that. So, and I really liked your comments about innovation and cost effectiveness going together. Brian, other thoughts on this topic?
Well, I agree with what's been said. It's quite interesting in the orthopedic industry. I don't think there's any industry that would be selling a product that was developed 30 or 40 years ago and is still being transplanted. I mean, it's the equivalent of going out and buying a Model T Ford. You know, the motor industry would laugh at you. And, you know, looking from the outside through the glass window at the large OEMs again, it strikes me that most of their innovation is driving marketing decisions. In other words, to recycle what is a basically standard product. And now that's changing because the customer has three basic needs, which is the price of the product, the time in the hospital, and the inventory levels. So I would see, again, looking from the outside, the innovation spectrum will change to meet those requirements. So there'll be more, you know, like MIS was a big innovation driver which affected the whole of the supply chain. So as that starts to move and the OEMs come to terms with that price pressure, they'll change their attack points. But, you know, again, looking from the outside, talking to surgeons, the simple stainless steel stem does most of the jobs most of the time.
Yeah. Well, you know, John Charnley's outcomes are really pretty good, but his patients were all dead within 5 years. So.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're operating on somebody who's 50, you might want something that has a bit more durability, right?
Absolutely.